Are you tired of buying clone fragrances that sit on your shelf and collect dust? Today, we're ranking 10 new clone fragrances, and we're gonna sort through some of the hype to help you figure out which ones you're actually gonna look forward to wearing. We're gonna rank these in tiers from meh to elite, but only 3 made it into the elite tier. So let's get into it. And kicking things off in the meh tier, this is Riiffs Zenith. But hey, somebody had to bite the bullet and end up at the bottom of this list. And this one's cloning Mind Games Queening. It's a $350 niche fragrance. And they've done a pretty good job here. This one does smell nice. But what you get is a cotton candy whipped cream coconut bomb with a powdery iris note sitting on top. And it's not bad, it's just not for the guys watching this video that are looking for a signature scent. It smells like a dessert at a baby shower. If you're a guy who's looking for a signature scent that's a gourmand vanilla fragrance, don't get this, get this. This is Mercedes-Benz Club Black, and it's blind buy worthy. You're welcome. Thankfully, we're out of the basement and into the good tier. No, I didn't say God tier, I said good tier. Speaking of good tier, sometimes my wife is like a little kid. Whenever I let her smell a new fragrance and I ask her, what do you think? Her response is always the same. Good. I tell her, wow, you really have a lot to say. I think you need your own channel. And if my wife were ranking these fragrances, Fragrance World Colosseum would be good. That's why it lands in the good tier at number 9. So Colosseum is a clone of Argos Triumph of Bacchus, if you're familiar with that fragrance. And this is actually a pretty good impression of it, I would say, especially considering that it's Fragrance World. Now I gotta say, normally I'm a little bougie and I tend to stick to French Avenue, but I think this one could have been a French Avenue release. It's pretty good. Opening up, you're hit with a rich Jamaican rum, a sweet white peach, and crisp green apple. It's smooth and boozy with a hint of dessert. And the problem with this one is exactly what makes it cool. It has kind of a dark, earthy tone to it, so it's gonna be a little bit polarizing. So this one needs the right situation, like the right event, but it also needs cold weather. This is not one you're just gonna throw on and run to the gas station or the grocery store. And at number 8, we have a Barara sub-brand. This is Mast Perfumes Rome Extradose. And you can probably tell by the packaging that this is a clone of Valentino's Born in Roma Extradose. And if you're familiar with what that smells like, then you probably already know what this smells like, because it's pretty much a dead ringer. Now the one thing I will say about this is I just opened this one, and I noticed when I put it on that there was this like laundry detergent synthetic note in the mid of this, and that's something that the original doesn't have. It's much smoother. So I'm hoping that if I put this one away for a couple weeks and it has a little bit of time to mature, it'll smooth out and that kind of soapy note that's in the middle will go away. You're getting a zesty citrus opening that shifts into a fresh green mix of apple and fig leaf before settling into a warm, creamy sandalwood and ambergris base. So I love this DNA, but between Valentino's endless flankers and then, clone houses making these obviously inferior carbon copies, I'm a little bit checked out. So when a new fragrance comes out and the clone houses want to jump on it and clone it, I'm all for that. My point is, fragrance houses need to stop putting out endless clones of old fragrances. Put a fresh twist on something or give us something new. Otherwise, don't bother. Next fragrance. And at number 7, and closing out the good tier, this is Lattafa New York City of Dreams. And this is a clone of Mind Games French Defense. And this one smells great. You get this dark cherry and cognac sort of note. Really enjoyable. So the note card breaks down into dark cherry and cognac, but it's the black pepper, nutmeg, and woods that ground it and give it a mature edge. So as I said, this smells really good. So I'm sure a lot of you are probably saying, dark cherry and cognac? Yes, please. And if you're still on the fence, just know that the cherry note on this disappears pretty quickly, and then it dries down to something that's kind of earthy and powdery and not really all that sweet. And also, it kind of reminds me of this, which is Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber, which is a $20 fragrance. All that being said, I still enjoy this and I will be wearing it. All right, that's the meh and good tiers done. So from here on out, everything is either excellent or flat out elite. There's some good ones coming up. And kicking off the excellent tier at number 6, This is French Avenue's Safari Breeze. This is a clone of Memoirs of a Perfume Collector's Tales from Zanzibar. And I'm wondering if the marketing company got paid by the letter. Geez, I'm gonna need a smaller font. And this one comes in this nice looking navy blue bottle with a little tassel on it. Mine actually came leaking from the neck, and you can't really see it anymore because it's mostly dried up. But anyways, we'll see how over time if that affects the sprayer performance. And this one's sort of an interesting fragrance. It's a little bit aggressive, I would say. It's an interesting combination of bright, fresh, sour, and fruity at the same time. Some people think it smells like a ripe guava fruit. I think it smells like overripe tropical fruit. As you can see, there's a crazy mix of tart grapefruit, icy mint, and ginger, creating this aggressive sour fruit punch vibe that smells exactly like a ripe tropical guava. So the presentation is gorgeous, the fragrance is unique, and it's gonna smell unlike anything you've ever smelled before. That being said, this one can come off as a little bit niche, and I don't think it's gonna be for everybody. This one is kind of a love it or hate it type of fragrance, so make sure you smell it before you buy it. And staying in the excellent tier at number 5, this is one you can wear every day. This is Lattafa's Mishlah. And this is sort of a hybrid clone. So this one is cloning that takes the DNA of Viktor and Rolf's Spice Bomb Metallic Musk, and it kind of combines it with the citrus opening from Parfums de Marly's Castly. Those are two newer fragrances, so it ends up being kind of an interesting combination. Now this is a fragrance that I did a blind unboxing of recently and gave a first impression on. So in my first impression video, I tested this one, I just thought it was okay. Now the reason why I'm bringing it back today is because after wearing it a few times and living with it, I've actually started to really enjoy it. It's kind of grown on me. And this one is very interesting because, like I said, it's super wearable. And it's got this modern, clean, peppery, upscale kind of vibe to it. As you can see, this opens with a sharp burst of black pepper, lavender, and bergamot before settling into a clean, powdery iris and a rich, woody cedar and incense base. So this is pretty much a clean and spicy barbershop fragrance that's very safe and mass appealing, and it's an easy recommendation. At number 4, and this is our last entry into the excellent tier, it's French Avenue's Obsidian. And the first thing you'll notice about this bottle is it's shaped like a giant knife. And the one thing I'll say about this packaging is it's very cutting edge. So now we have bottles shaped like knives, grenades, tanks. It's starting to look less like a fragrance cabinet and more like an evidence locker. And don't even get me started on the killer robots. Back in the evidence locker. So as I was saying, French Avenue Obsidian is a clone of By Kilian's Angel Share on the Rocks. So with that, you get the opening that's a citrus blast, followed up by that familiar Angel Share DNA, which is sort of like a warm, boozy apple pie. And as you can see, that opening blast comes from a heavy dose of icy grapefruit and sparkling aldehydes before those signature mid-notes of cognac and cinnamon take over. And the quality here is extremely high. They put an interesting twist on a great fragrance, so for me, this is an easy recommendation. Now we're in the elite tier. If my house caught fire, I'd grab these 3 fragrances. And my wife, of course. And I know, but I'm gonna need her help carrying fragrances. But then we'd beeline it to safety. And speaking of fragrances that are worth rescuing, in 3rd place we have Lattafa Musamam Black Intense, because it's got a snake on the bottle. You don't leave snakes behind during an emergency. Anyways, what I like about this one, it has this really nice sort of masculine smell to it. It's dark woods, dark mocha coffee, and it's a little bit gourmand. But damn, it just smells good. This opens with nutmeg, lavender, and bergamot, which transitions into a clean cedarwood heart and finishes with cocoa, tonka bean, maple, and patchouli. This is dark and smoky in the vein of like a Kilian's Black Phantom, but it's actually an original creation by a very famous perfumer. And the reason this is not higher on the list is because it is very dark. It also feels like a niche perfume that found its way into a clone bottle. But I'll say one thing, if you have the confidence, this might be the best one on the entire list. And in 2nd place, we have Lattafa's Love in Paris. And you hear the name Love in Paris, and it might make you think of a flowery type of perfume that maybe your aunt would wear to brunch or something. But that's not what this is at all. This is actually a fragrance that was created by Quentin Biche, who's literally one of the most famous niche perfumers on the planet right now. So good. In simple terms, this one smells like fresh baked apple pie smothered in caramel sauce as well as maple syrup. And honestly, with this much maple syrup, they probably should have called it Love in Quebec. It's super sweet, it's gourmand, just a great smelling fragrance. As you can see, this kicks off with caramelized apple, then moves into a warm heart of maple syrup and benzoin. It finishes with a base of roasted tonka bean, patchouli, and cashmere. If you look this one up on some of the fragrance sites, you'll see that the reviews are mixed. I don't really understand that. One guy said that this fragrance wasn't sweet enough, and I assume he was drinking from a bottle of maple syrup when he wrote that. Anyways, I guess some people don't want to smell like a 5-star breakfast. But if you want to smell like a snack. And finally, number 1 on this entire list, it's Rayhaan Obsidian. So if there's a fire, my wife's carrying the other fragrances, I'm shoving this one into my pocket on the way out the door. And the reason is simple, because Rayhaan managed to thread the needle with Obsidian. So this was inspired by Dior Homme Parfum. The original is discontinued, and it leaned a little bit niche. And then the 2025 version, well, that one's gonna be a little bit more mainstream. This one managed to hit the sweet spot right between the two. So this one smells like leather with chocolatey notes and a buttery iris. It's dark, it's just sexy and begging to be worn to a formal night out. Or a Waffle House at 2 a.m. I mean, I don't know your life. This opens with iris and orange. There's leather and rose in the heart with a base of cedar, sandalwood, ambrette, and oud. And the reason this came in first place is because it pairs niche level sophistication with a mass appealing aspect that everybody, and I mean everybody, is gonna compliment. You're gonna really enjoy wearing this one. This was an easy choice for number 1, and honestly, everything here was pretty much competing for second place. So that's my ranking. Let me know down in the comments which of these was your favorite or which of these I got completely wrong. And if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Do it for the snake. Because it could save a life.